Hi Reddit. I don't usually post this kind of stuff on here, but I am in such a clusterfuck of confusion, and I don't even know what to do at this point. I should have known my whore of a girlfriend would pull some shit like this when she told me she wanted 20 kids. So I made a throwaway account to get some perspective and to see if I'm overreacting, justified in my feelings, or if I'm giving my girlfriend mixed signals. Here's the backstory. Girlfriend and I have been living together a year. Have been together 2 years. Known each other for 4, she's 22 and I'm 25. We both work full-time, cohabitate well together, and have no constant issues/arguments. Except this. So we spent the first year of our relationship strictly using protection. As time went on, as in a little less than a year ago, we started getting more lax with the protection. So for the past year, we've been using the pull-out method. Stupid, I know, but the odds don't seem to be that high. I've Googled extensively and it said it's about a 10 to 15% chance of a pregnancy occurring within a year. So we figured by the time an accident happens, we will be prepared for a child. But we both agreed that right now isn't the right time to have kids, as we live in a one-bedroom and don't make enough money to support another human. We send each other baby reels on TikTok, talk about our future marriage/children. Have discussed names, how many we want, etc. That's where the possibility of a mixed signal is. This is the TMI part. So last night, we had bang bang. I left the children swimming on her back. While I went into the other room to get a towel to clean her up, I walked back into the bedroom to find, well, something odd. She was inserting the kids into herself. It was her ovulation time and has been the past few days according to her app. I obviously was in complete shock since I have never been in this situation before. I straight up asked her what she was doing. She looked at me and didn't say anything, or at least looked like she didn't know what to say. I asked her if she was doing what I thought she was doing. And she nodded her head and said she was sorry. She just really wanted to have a kid and got mixed signals, but I call BS. She profusely apologized. Over and over. She didn't sleep all night. She said she just got the urge, and didn't think twice because of how we're living together and I must not care that much because I use the pull-out method. That was just so manipulative and not excuse at all. I told her that I can't trust her and I don't know where we stand at this point. She won't stop apologizing. I dumped my GF after moving in with her. She's angry. I 25M, moved in with my GF 24F of 4 years, 3 weeks ago. She chose the place and although her name is on the lease I paid half of the deposit and paid the first month of rent as she couldn't afford it. I also paid the first month of bills. She works part-time and has some savings she used to furniture the place according to her taste despite my objections. I felt she overspent and the money could have been better spent on other things. She had a few friends over on Monday when I came home. She had ordered food and as I normally come home from work at 5 she was surprised to see me there an hour earlier. They were a little drunk and one of her friend made strange comments, which I thought nothing of due to the alcohol as I went to the bathroom to shower. When I came out from the shower her other friends and sister was quoting me poetry that I had written to my GF, and was quite handsy. I found it odd and asked her where she had heard that. She goes, we just read your love letters to her before watching a movie. My GF was laughing with them. Her sister made a remark about how she wanted me to do her the way I do her sister because she had never felt that way. I was furious but due to her drunkenness thought it impossible to talk to her. I left for my mother's house. On Tuesday she called me 17 times but I ignored it. She also sent many texts wanting to know why I wasn't home. On Wednesday I told her in person how hurt I was for her sharing my intimate letters with her friends, and for oversharing what we do in private. She said relax, it was a joke and nobody got hurt. She said the girls were impressed with me and that is why they got a little handsy. She said once I gave her the letters they were hers to share with whom she pleased. So I told her that I am my own person and can make the decision to not share more of myself with her. Today she came to my mother's apologizing. She wanted me to come back and talk it out with her. I told her no, and that we were through. She wouldn't leave so I drove to my father's place, where I am now. She kept texting me and telling me that I should be ashamed of myself for leaving her like that. She got her friends and sister to apologize to me and they told me to quit playing games and go home now that they had apologized. I told them I was home and that as my name was not on the lease and I wasn't respected as an equal in her home I no longer wanted to be with her. Luckily for me I hadn't moved most of my stuff there. She kept phoning and texting and I blocked her. She then made a mutual male friend of ours contact me and tell me that I was being a bitch about it. So I blocked him too. Then his GF texted me and told me not to take things out of proportion. I am almost certain I did the right thing, but maybe I should talk it out with her before cutting all contact.
I yelled at my husband because he used to be homeless and never told me. My husband John and I have been married for a few years. A few days ago, we were going somewhere and passed through a homeless family. To my surprise, John went towards them to give them a lot of money. He offered to also take them home for lunch. I wasn't happy, but agreed. All that these homeless are gonna do is spend it on illegal stuff anyways, so I'd rather not. That night while we were sleeping, John was apparently having a really bad nightmare. He was shaking and seemed really disgruntled / I wanted to know what it was, but he wouldn't say. It was just really strange behavior. But I let it go. Yesterday, a close relative of his called. I told him about John, and that's when I learned that he had been homeless when he was 18. He had starved and slept on the streets, fought, and almost died. His parents were homeless with him, and that it had made him extremely depressed for a long time, even after they got through it. I accosted John about it, and he just said yes. I got mad at him for hiding something but he said I didn't want to inform you. I yelled that I am his wife, and he replied by shouting, "You sure as hell aren't acting like a wife should." He's not talking to me now, and I am just mad, and I feel like leaving him because he hid something like that from me. Am I the a-hole?
I requested a DNA test, and now I think I ruined my marriage. My 32 meters, wife 31F, gave birth to our newborn baby 3 months ago, and I thought things were fine. However, my wife did not. 2 months in, my wife approached me saying that she was exhausted from taking care of the baby alone, and she asked me why I wasn't helping. I told her that I thought I was helping, but she pointed out that I never get up at night, I never get the baby while it's crying, never change the baby, or do anything. After some talking, I admitted that I was apprehensive about helping, and she asked why. I thought it was going to cause a fight, so I tried to change the subject. She told me that I should just tell her because if I didn't, she was going to her parents' house for help until she went back to work. I didn't want that, so I told her that I wanted a DNA test. She said she wished I would have told her this when she found out she was pregnant. I didn't understand that, but she agreed to it. She didn't seem mad or upset, she just said that I could set it up and we'd get it done because she didn't make the baby alone, so she shouldn't have to care for it alone. We did the test, and when we got the results back I told her and showed them to her. She didn't say anything about it, she just asked if I felt safe enough to help now. I said yes. Soon after that I noticed her behavior started to change with me and my family. Everything changed and she started staying in different parts of the house. Parts 1 wasn't in at the time. I finally asked her about it recently and she said that she lost all respect for me. She said she spent 10 years of her life with me faithfully just for me to slap her in the face with a DNA test request. I explained that I didn't think she had been unfaithful, but I just needed to be sure. She said she's trying to work through it, but everything I say sounds moronic to her, and we should just leave it where it is. I thought if I showed her videos and had her listen to podcasts about DNA tests she'd understand, but after the last one she said she was going to stay with her parents. I don't know what's happening or how to fix it. She wasn't even mad when I asked for it. I feel like she isn't hearing what I'm saying. It isn't that serious, and if she could just understand my perspective I think she'll adjust hers. She's not even against DNA tests, so I'm unsure as to what her issue is.